Good morning. We'll give just a moment to clear the waiting room. Good morning. This is the voting hearing of the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Thursday, September 26th, 2024. This hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the city of Boston's website. While the public is encouraged to attend, there will be no additional testimony accepted this morning. We'll begin with the license premise inspection hearing, which occurred on Tuesday, September 24th, 2024. Item number 1, Concord Entertainment, Inc., doing business as Bill's Bar, the Lansdowne Pub, located at 9 Lansdowne Street. Date of the incident, January 20th, 2024. Assault and battery, employee on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A.
I'll begin. Thanks, Danny. I did review the video and I reviewed the testimony from the hearing on Tuesday. I was not able to determine how this fight started or who the initial aggressor was. I do think the security was involved in the tussle in some way, but I'm not quite sure how it all began. For those reasons, I see no violation.
I agree. I just didn't think there was enough based on everything we had. Not that I wasn't concerned. I think this is kind of a case of like who deserves the benefit of the doubt and reasonable inferences. That's really what I was weighing. But my concern is that, you know, we kind of just had them for employee on patron. And with the video, I wasn't satisfied with the supposed blind spot. It seems like this area of the bar would be covered by a camera. This is the, you know, kind of the front as the exit is. So I did have no violation, but mere, you know, based solely on lack of evidence, and you know, the alleged victims weren't in front of us. So it was just a evidentiary kind of lacking. But I do want to have some sort of accountability for this blind spot. I don't know if it's acceptable or if they should explain why it's there and whether they can fix it or what. I'm not inclined to give them the benefit of the doubt if this happens again and something with their security happens in this big blind spot. So I think we should put them on notice of that. Or I should.
I'm also really curious about that blind spot. Maybe there's some correspondence that talks about, you know, the importance of having you know, good camera system, and then also just de-escalation as well.
I agree. Danny, if we could include this on the docket sheet so that it's, should they come before us again with the same explanation, it's in a blind spot, we can refer to the fact that we've addressed this on the record and we've corresponded with them. I don't know at this point if we can force them to change where the cameras are, but it's something we should think about as a board if there continues to be a problem here. I think you raised very good points, commissioners.
So it sounds like no violation, docket that the incident happened in a blind spot that the cameras could not catch, and also send correspondence about the fact that this occurred in a blind spot, suggest that they have cameras to cover that spot, and also the importance of de-escalation.
Yes.
Great. Moving on to item number 2, Food House Inc., doing business as Friendship BBQ Alston, located at 103 Brighton Ave in Alston. Date of the incident, April 27th, 2024. Assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, a bottle, a patron on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 15A.
I did not see any violation here.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Item number 3, ZAA KFL LLC, doing business as Billaris Columbia, located at 28 Bennington Street in East Boston. Date of the incident, June 22nd, 2024. Assault and battery, employee on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A.
The video and the explanation from the staff was helpful. I did not see a violation.
I didn't see a violation, but I thought it was closer than they portrayed it.
Yeah.
I didn't think the patrons were threatening, especially like with the chair. I don't know if that patron was threatening. The chair was like slid away, not used as a weapon. I thought it was kind of a borderline situation, and you know, standard correspondence about de-escalation and you know, not using physical force unless it's proportional.
I agree.
So no violation with correspondence about the importance of de-escalation?
And just to make sure the correspondence is included in the docket sheet so we can refer to it.
Will do. Item number 4, ZAA KFL LLC, doing business as Biliaris Columbia, located at 28 Bennington Street in East Boston. Date of the incident, August 18th, 2024, bottle service violation in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64.
Absolute violation here.
Easy one, yep.
Sorry, Commissioner
I
Saxon.
agree.
Okay, they had just been before us, I think, what, 2 weeks before this. They received a first warning then, because we have, progressive discipline, I feel like I can't go beyond a second warning here. However, I think it's pretty egregious that 2 weeks later, they're before us again for the same violation. I'm not quite sure their explanation adds up to now they're putting a carafe of water on the table. I think it's a real slippery slope, but I'm on the record saying I think this is a second written warning.
Right. Did they say they were using carafes though? I think they said they were trying to use a different bottle, but maybe I misheard.
It wasn't clear to me. I don't know.
Neither
Yeah.
here nor
That's-
there. It's the
That's why I
violation
needed
is
that
there.
final question. Just to be clear, was Aguardiente on the table? Yes, okay, thank you, that's all.
Yeah.
The rest of the stuff, I don't know if it mattered that much.
So just to make sure I understood correctly, violation the second warning, is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Item number 5, Solmona Sports Association, located at 26 Fleet Street, date of the incident, August 16th, 2024, overcrowding, 71 on count, capacity 49, house count 48, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.03J and 1.06A and F. This was on a special one-day alcohol license.
I do see a violation for the overcrowding. I think their explanation made sense. They weren't properly staffed. My vote is for a warning and written correspondence. Should they apply again for the same event next year? I'd like to see a written plan explaining how they're going to control the crowds.
I agree.
You're right. And if that needs to be docketed in order for you to see that warning, then
Great, so violation, the warning will be docketed that any future applications for a special one day must include a written plan for controlling the capacity and written correspondence saying the same. And item 6, Causeway Union LLC, doing business as Loyal 9, located at 17 Union Street, date of the incident, June 13th, 2024. Assault and battery on premise in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A.
I'll begin. So after 2 hearings on this issue, it's still unclear to me who was actually in charge on this night and who the manager of record was on the night in question. Without a doubt, an assault and battery occurred. So I'm going to say I see an absolute violation there for that. Going towards whether or not this assault and battery is foreseeable, in my opinion, yes, it was. This is a place with a history of poor management and supervision. An employee actually committed an assault on the premise. It's not a mitigating factor that he worked there and they're still in a dating relationship and all seems okay. You can't bring them onto the hearing and say, oh, it was a misunderstanding. I was really blackout drunk that night. As a manager or a management staff, there's a duty of care owed to your employees and to the public. There was a clear and undeniable breakdown of management and supervision here, and we've seen this before with these managers. This woman, in my opinion, is lucky to be alive based on the video evidence that was provided to the board. And let me make a note, that video evidence was provided to the board because I believe somebody went in with their own cell phone and videoed the security cameras. And that is why the management turned it over to the board. Sure, they provided that to the third party, but I still don't think we would have gotten it unless we had subpoenaed it or unless the police had turned it over. There was no call to the police as is required by our rules with anyone who was injured on a licensed premise. There was conflicting statements on the record about whether the employee perpetrator was fired or resigned, which I take issue with. But the point is, we know they're attempting to sell this license, which we all think, or I think we would all agree is for the public good. My last point here is that while I am not going to delve into the character and fitness today of the owners and the management staff, I do have questions about whether anyone involved in this business, as a manager, as a member of the LLC, as a staff person, has the appropriate character and fitness to serve in a management role in any licensed establishment in the city of Boston. I have grave concerns about the people involved in this license and will continue to monitor closely the activities at their other licensed premises, but those are my comments. I can let the other commissioners comment first, or if you'd like me to go into what my motion is and my proposal is, let me know, Danny.
That could go either way. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, do you have any comments before we move to a potential discipline?
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Commissioner
Well,
Curran?
what I would say is, I agree with everything the chair said. I would, a couple of things that I noted, I would like noted is, the first thing is the young woman was a patron, not an employee. She had just been refused service and somehow she's in the back in a non-public area. So that's something else I noticed about, you know, how this was, a failure and foreseeable and how the bar contributed to this assault and battery. Second thing I noted was that really what the two people who testified trying to justify what we saw on the video were trying to get at was some sort of, you know, the on its face, the conduct that we saw was clear battery. That what they're trying to say is it's justifiable under the law. And so what I'm seeing is, you know, they're trying to present some sort of self-defense and or defense of others, probably defense of others. What the testimony really lacked between both of them was any kind of assertion that someone was in physical danger, whether it be the young woman or another party. Really what they were getting at was that he was trying to save her from a confrontation, from embarrassment, from making a scene. That explanation does not justify the amount of physical force that we saw. So, you know, for me, under the law, their kind of justification for it would fail. It should have failed when management reviewed the conduct. And, you know, therefore, even if we were to accept that what they were saying is true, which I have serious doubts about, it still wouldn't rise to the level of being justifiable, you know, on illegal contact. So I noted that. I think that's all I had in addition. Everything you said I was noting as well, so I think that's all I have extra.
I agree with everything, and I think that it's also important to note that they actually admitted that they wanted to bury the video and that they thought that it was a quote unquote private matter, and so that just speaks to the lack of judgment. And I think you know, often in the cases where there is a very clear violation, we really do take into account the contrition of the parties. And here there was defense and, you know, a complete lack of accountability. And so that I think should also be noted for the record.
I did have one more thing, sorry. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe that Mr. Brady told me he had source videos. After a lot of confusion, I thought we got to the point where he said he had source videos and we got not source videos, we got videos of videos with only a tiny little bit extra of what we could see. It was the only additional footage that I could note was there was a different angle at the end of one of the videos where you could more clearly see her running away.
Yeah, I agree with you, Commissioner Curran. Even though we asked the question several times on the record and in writing, I don't think Mr. Brady understood what we meant as far as we wanted videos from the cameras. For some reason, that didn't process clearly with him, and we continued to get the same cell phone videos. And he says he has no access to the establishment, so he has no access to the videos, which really troubles me because he still is the manager there. And unless someone went in and destroyed them, I would believe that he could obtain them for us.
We've said in the past that an incident like this is the reaction should be to save all videos.
And he went there the next night. I have people who have called me to say he showed up at the door the next night or the night after, 2 nights later, And he was aware of this incident. He could have gone down and preserved the videos then. He is a seasoned owner of licenses in the city of Boston and in other communities. He knows very well what his responsibilities are.
And Commissioner Liam, I think, was being very clear and very straightforward about what the request was. And so I don't think that there was any room for confusion. I think it was deliberate. Because he said it, I spoke to them, they're friends of mine. So it was a very complete lack of judgment. And it's almost like a conflict of interest because he wanted to protect them as friends. And so he shirked his duty as a minority partner and as someone who is very used to being a manager as well. He understood that Commissioner Liam wanted the source video.
All that being said,
Yep, with all the comments on the record, is there a proposal for disposition of the violation? It sounds like there is a violation across the board unanimously.
Yes. My suggestion or my vote would be for an indefinite suspension, only to be lifted should this license be sold to a party that is not involved in this license.
I totally agree.
Wholeheartedly agree, absolutely.
The license is indefinitely suspended, only to be lifted by a transfer to an unrelated entity. Thank you all. Moving on to the transactional hearing, which occurred yesterday, Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. Item number 1, Enterprise KG LLC, doing business as the Munchie Station, located at 966 Dorchester Ave in Dorchester, has applied for a common victular license. Manager Kevin Gonzalez, hours of operation 8 a.m. to 11 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Item 2, Akayan LLC, doing business as Oba Bakery, located at 16 Brighton Ave in Alston. Manager Adabe Akayan, hours of operation 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Item number 3, Selly Family Group LLC, doing business as McDonald's, located at 100 Legends Way, has petitioned to change the closing hour to 3 a.m. With deliveries only from 12 a.m. to 3 a.m.
I vote to approve the extension of the closing hour. However, I would like to put on the face of the license where deliveries should be, which I believe is the Nashua Street. No deliveries at the Nashua Street pedestrian corridor.
Sounds good.
I agree.
Granted, with the condition that no deliveries to take place in the Nashua Street pedestrian corridor. Item number 4, the Newman School, located at 298 to 300 Newbury Street, has applied for a lodging house dormitory license. Manager Michael Schaefer.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item 5, Commonwealth Land Trust, doing business as 250 Seaver Street LLC, located at 250 Seaver Street in Dorchester, has applied for a lodging house license. Manager Dina Herrera.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item 6, NKOTB Lessee LLC, doing business as Revere Hotel Rebels Guild, located at 196 to 200 Stewart Street, has petitioned to change the manager to Sean Howe.
I vote to approve Mr. Howe as manager of record. I believe he has the appropriate character and fitness to serve.
I agree.
Agree.
Item 7, Del Frisco's of Boston LLC, doing business as Del Frisco's, located at 230 Northern Ave, has petitioned to change the manager to Michael Volitsky.
I vote to approve Mr. Volitsky as manager of record. I believe he has the appropriate character and fitness to serve.
I agree.
Agree.
Item number 8, Clover Ventures LLC, doing business as Bostonia Public House, located at 131 State Street, has petitioned to pledge the license to Northern Bank and Trust Company.
I vote to approve the pledge.
I agree.
I agree.
Item number 9, SSP America Inc., doing business as Pete's at Night, located at 500 Terminal Road in East Boston within Logan Airport Terminal E, has petitioned to change the closing hour to 12 a.m.
I vote to approve the change in the closing hour.
I agree.
I agree.
Item number 10, Cafe Dello Sport Inc., doing business as Cafe Dello Sport, located at 308 Hanover Street, has petitioned to change the manager to Myvan Spencer, petitioned for a change of officers, directors, and has petitioned for a change of stock interest.
I vote to approve Mr. Spencer as manager of record. I believe he has the appropriate character and fitness to serve, and I also vote to approve the change of officers and directors and the change of stock interest.
I agree.
I agree.
Item number 11, 326B LLC, doing business as Red Fox, located at 326 to 328 Commercial Street, has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business to 3 rooms and kitchen on basement level of 326 to 328 Commercial Street, with dining areas and seated bar, 11 seats at the bar and front room, together with additional dining area and seated raw bar with 7 seats at the second bar with alcohol service, storage and office space and wine cellar, 2,868 square feet total. Secondly, has petitioned to change the DBA to Red Fox and Extra Dirty.
I vote to approve the amended description and the change of DBA.
I agree.
I agree.
Item number 12, CPCB LLC, doing business as Cornish Pasty, located at 51A Mass Ave, has petitioned to transfer the license to Yoshida Omikaze LLC at the same location. Gabrielle Moriso, manager, 12 a.m. closing hour, and has also petitioned to update the description of the premise to street level and basement level contain 2,276 square feet. First level is for dining, ADA compliant bathroom, kitchen and preparation areas. Basement level is for storage, separate preparation area, and dish cleaning, washing. Street level has 1 doorway for ingress and egress, and basement level has a 2nd doorway for ingress egress for delivery of all supplies.
I vote to approve the transfer. I vote to approve Ms. Marceau as manager of record. I believe she has the appropriate character and fitness to serve. I also vote to approve the updated description, and I think that's it.
I agree.
I agree.
Thank you. Item number 13, La Roca Inc., doing business as Dolce Vita, located at 221 Hanover Street, has petitioned to transfer the license to Martinetti Restaurant Group LLC, doing business as Bar Martinetti at the same location. Robert Martinetti, manager, 12 a.m. closing hour. Has also petitioned to update the description of the premise to in 1 room on first floor, comprised of various dining areas, bar and restroom in rear, together with additional dining room, restrooms, kitchen, and storage in the basement, 3,590 square feet total. And finally, has petitioned to remove a condition from the license that requires malt and wine with liqueurs to be served only in conjunction with meals.
I vote to approve the transfer at the same location. I vote to approve Mr. Martinetti as manager of record. I believe he has the appropriate character and fitness to serve. I vote to update the description and to remove the condition.
I agree.
I agree.
Thank you. Item number 14, Cannonball Cafe LLC, doing business as Cannonball Cafe, located at 383 Dorchester Ave in South Boston, has petitioned to transfer the license to 383 Lot LLC, doing business as Park City at the same location. Michael Shaw, manager, 12 a.m. closing hour. Has also petitioned to amend the description to premise comprised of an approximately 30,000 square foot outdoor space and 2,579 square feet of interior space for storage, coolers, and prep space. Outdoor space with 1 bar with seating for 40, 2 bars for walk-up service, various tables, cabanas, stadium, and other types of seating for 440, structure for food service, and space for lawn games, activities, and stage for live music. And finally, is petition to pledge the license to Cannonball Cafe LLC.
I think this is a great use of this space. It's currently being activated on a special event. Through special events, but I think this is a great permanent activation of a space that is going to bring a lot of good use to the community. So my vote would be to approve the transfer of the license, to approve, well, Mr. Shaw's already an approved manager of record, to approve the amended description and to approve the pledge.
Yeah, I mean, there were some concerns raised, but I don't even know if we can consider them with a corp to corp at the same location. You know, maybe, not maybe, I mean, what was raised is certainly sounds concerning, but I think we have to rely on the proper environmental agencies to, you know, oversee that. That's really not our purview. Maybe it would have been the first time we approved this location, but not a corp to corp at the same location, so I vote to approve.
Yeah, I can vote to approve as well. And hopefully they can continue some sort of community process to vet out all of the issues and concerns.
Transfer is approved. Item number 15, Turnaround Sushi Inc., doing business as Crave Mad for Chicken, located at 75 Nealand Street, has petitioned to transfer the license and the location to Hunsa Inc., doing business as Kala Thai Cookery, located at 151 Hanover Street. Manita Bunagit Karn manager, 12 a.m. closing hour.
I vote to approve the transfer. I also vote to approve Manita as manager of record. I believe she has the appropriate character and fitness to serve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item 16, Goggle Moggle Inc., doing business as Seabiscuit, located at 256 Marginal Street in East Boston, has petitioned to transfer the license and the location to Self Up LLC, doing business as Self Up Cooking Classes, located at 19 Kingston Street. Valentino Paradina manager, 10 p.m. closing hour, and has also petitioned to change the license type to a general on-premise.
I vote to approve this transfer of the license to this location. And I vote to approve Mr. Paradina as manager of record. I believe they're going to come back and change the manager of record again soon. And I also vote to change the license type.
I agree.
I agree.
Items 17 and 18, Boston Winery LLC, doing business as Boston Winery, located at 26 Erickson Street in Dorchester. Item 17 is an application for a farmer brewery pouring license under section 19C of chapter 138. And item 18 is for a combined wines and malts pouring license under section 19H of chapter 138. Ralph Bruno manager, 11 p.m. closing hour.
I vote to approve Mr. Bruno as manager, and I vote to approve the pouring licenses.
I agree.
I agree. On the last one, did we have to say that they were going to turn in the previous license? Was that the one where she verbally said that she was going to turn in the?
No, that
Oh.
was that was on the application for an all-out license for Locali.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay. No worries. Items 19 and 20, Shawmut Hudson LLC, doing business as Trillium, located at 401 Park Drive. Item 19 is an application for a farmer distillery pouring license under section 19E of chapter 138. And item 20 is an application for a combined wines, malts, and distillery pouring license under section 19H of chapter 138. Brandon Keating, manager, 1 a.m. closing hour.
I vote to approve the pouring licenses. I believe everything else, we've already approved Mr. Keating.
That's correct.
I do as well.
I agree.
Item number 21, Walter Corporation, doing business as El Jardín, located at 15 William C. Kelly Square in East Boston, has applied for a common victualler 7-day wines and malt beverages license. Manager Kelly Orego, closing time 2 a.m.
So this is an application for an East Boston beer and wine license at a Colombian restaurant. They've been open for 20 years, 4 years with this management. I believe the manager of record has the appropriate character and fitness to serve, and I do believe they established the public need for a beer and wine license at this location.
I agree.
I agree.
Right, so the vote is
I'm sorry. So I vote to approve the license pending the availability for one for which they qualify.
Yes.
thank you. Item number 22, Florenza Inc., doing business as Florenza, located at 164 to 170 Sumner Street in East Boston, has applied for a common victualler 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license. Manager Stefano Bruno, closing time 10 p.m.
Thanks. This is another East Boston application for a beer and wine license. This is an Italian concept on the waterfront in East Boston. I do believe this is a neighborhood that is growing, and I do believe they could sustain another restaurant that offers beer and wine to their patrons. My vote is to approve Mr. Bruno as manager of record. I believe is the appropriate character and fitness to serve. And my vote would be to approve this application pending the availability of a license for which they qualify.
I agree.
I agree.
And item number 23, Locali Inc. doing business as Locali, located at 350 to 352 Hanover Street, has applied for a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license. Manager Jennifer Matarazzo, closing time 11 p.m.
This is an application for an all alcohol license in the North End at an establishment that currently has beer and wine. I think Ms. Matarazzo is already the approved manager of record, so I don't have to get into her qualifications. I think they made a compelling argument that this is both a neighborhood and a busy tourist area. This is a modern pizzeria. I know most of the restaurants in the North End are Italian focused, but I do believe when you break apart what the offerings are here, with an expanded bar, this is an amenity that not all the restaurants in the North End offer their patrons. You can sit at the bar and have food. You can sit alone, as I mentioned, and it was described as a gourmet pizza place. So for all of those reasons, my vote would be to approve it pending the availability of a license for which they qualify. So those are my comments and my vote.
I would second all that. I would make the approval contingent on the return of their beer and wine.
Thank you. Yep.
I agree. So I tried to pin it on someone, another matter, so yes, I agree.
Sounds like granted pending availability. If a license is available and issued, the licensee must surrender their existing beer, wine, and liqueurs license.
Yes. Thank you for that. For reminding me of that.
Thank you. Moving on to non-hearing transactions. The following are applying for a new common victular license at a previously licensed location. Item number 1, Sarva Foods Corp. doing business as Sarva, located at 279 Newbury Street. Manager Suhas Naik, hours of operation 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item number 2, JC and Friends Inc. doing business as K Chicken, located at 86 Peterborough Street. Manager Chenatit Prawit Sitikul, hours of operation 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I do as well.
I agree.
Item number 3, Pushcart Pop Out LLC doing business as Soul on Shawmut, located at 772 Shawmut Ave in Roxbury. Manager Iman Abdul Musawir Lamontagne, hours of operation 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
Agree.
Item number 4, Mum Mish LLC doing business as Mum Mish, located at 5 Bowden Street in Dorchester. Manager Jillian Niles, hours of operation 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
And item number 5, Medford Coffee LLC doing business as Dunkin', located at 39 First Ave in Charlestown. Manager Chinzia Noriller, hours of operation 5 a.m. to 7 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
Agree.
Following have applied for a 1-day amendment to their existing license. Item number 1, Mass Bay Brewing Company Inc. doing business as Harpoon Brewery, located at 306 Northern Ave, has applied to include the parking lot surrounding the brewery for Harpoon Oktoberfest and Dogtoberfest on October 4th from 6 to 11 p.m., October 5th from 12 to 7 p.m., and October 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
Agree.
Item 2, Adair Inc. doing business as Ned Divines, located at 2201 Faneuil Hall Marketplace, has applied to include the contiguous space in the upper rotunda of Quincy Market Building for a Rose Kennedy Greenway reception on October 1st from 4 to 6 p.m.
Vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item number 3, similarly, Adair Inc. doing business as Ned Divines at 2201 Faneuil Hall Marketplace has applied to include the same contiguous space in the upper rotunda of Quincy Market for a reception for the American Cancer Society on October 10th from 4 to 7 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item 4, Cisco Brewers Distillers Vintners Seaport Inc. doing business as Cisco Seaport, located at 85 Northern Ave, has applied to seek an earlier opening hour, 1 hour earlier, on October 13th, beginning at 11 a.m. for the post party for the Martin Richards Foundation MREK Road Race.
I vote to approve.
I do as well.
I agree.
Item 5, Notch Brighton Taproom LLC, located at 1420 to 1440 Soldiers Field Road in Brighton, has applied to include an outside courtyard for a vendor market on October 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. and October 20th from 5 to 10 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
And item number 6, AHF Speedway Holdings LLC doing business as the Charles River Speedway located at 1420 to 1440 Soldiers Field Road in Brighton has applied to extend their patio for the month of October, specifically October 1st through 19th, 21st to 29th, and 31st from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Board has before them a list of applications for special one-day alcoholic beverages, which have been administratively reviewed by staff and approved by the board. And 3 items for a vote on old and new business. The first is a violation that the board had deferred disposition of to review submitted video evidence. The licensee is Jane Hung Inc. doing business as New Moon Villa Restaurant at 15 to 19 Edinburgh Street. Date of this incident was October 27th, 2023. Assault and battery with dangerous weapon, patron on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 15A.
I did have an opportunity to review the video. Based upon what I saw in the video, I don't think this assault and battery was foreseeable, so I don't see a violation.
I agree. It, you know, maybe didn't happen so suddenly, but suddenly enough, it didn't like go on and on. The one thing I'll bring up is, you know, at this time of night, I do question the adequacy of the, you know, security. The staff's ability to kind of physically intervene in this was lacking and just concerning. I wouldn't find a violation for it, but, you know, after seeing it and now being aware of kind of the lay of the land at this time of night, I feel like we should say something and put them on notice and question whether they need to up their security game.
Very good point.
I agree with all said.
Commissioner Carn, would you like that in correspondence from the board? Would you like it noted on the docket sheet? How would you like this to appear?
Definitely correspondence
Right.
and maybe a request for them to get back to us with what their plan is gonna be. And, you know, the why, like, if they're not gonna employ more physically capable security, why can't they do that, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, the same noted on the docket, so notes that, although unforeseeable, security may have been lacking in hindsight, something like that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
would you like to request a formal like late night security plan from the licensee? Is that
I
something?
think we should, yeah.
All right, so no violation. It will be noted on the docket sheet that the board found security had concerns about security at this time of night. Correspondence from the board and a request for a formal late night security plan from the licensee.
Yeah, and may I actually bring up, this happened a long time ago, but I do recall, even though they weren't written up for it, there were allegations that the police were locked out for a short period of time. So maybe another reiteration of, you know, their
Yeah.
duty to cooperate with police.
Cooperation.
might be-
And also, it seemed pretty clear from the video, they were serving beer. At that
Yes,
hour.
I'm
from a
agree with
teapot.
that too. I didn't know if we were gonna get there, but
Yeah, they weren't written up for it. It wasn't the most egregious thing in the video. I think the fight was, so I wanted to agree with you, focus on the security and the other issues, but I think if we're gonna send correspondence, we should note that it was clear in the video they were serving alcohol.
Absolutely.
out of
just to know that
teapots.
we saw it, we didn't miss it.
Yeah,
Right. That can be included as well.
Thank you.
Item number 2 is the board had deferred this application to allow for completion of the community process, which has since occurred. The applicant, Robert A. Caparella, 211 Hanover Street, had applied for a common victualler 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license. Robert A. Caparella, manager, closing time 1 a.m. indoors, 12 a.m. outdoors. The applicant did present to both Nunic and New Ra, received support from Nunic and non-opposition from New Ra.
I believe Mr. Caparella has the appropriate character and fitness to serve as manager of record, and my vote would be to approve this wine and malt and liqueurs license pending the availability of one for which they qualify.
I agree.
I agree. And just for the record, what was the community process? What did they say? What did the community say?
Yep, exactly. So there is a support letter from Nunic, the North End Waterfront Neighborhood Council, and a non-opposition letter from New Ra, the North End Waterfront Residents Association.
Got it. Thank you.
And then item number 3, similarly, the board had deferred the following to allow for the completion of the community process, which also has since occurred. Hunan Gourmet LLC, doing business as Hunan Gourmet, located at 45 Beach Street, applied for a 7-day wines and malt beverages, common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license. Shi Chao Chang, manager of record, closing time 10:30 p.m. Similarly, they presented to 3 different resident groups within Chinatown, received no opposition, and last night through a staffer, we found out that they received support from Councilor Flynn, who is the district city councilor as well.
My vote is to approve pending the availability of one for which they qualify and to also approve the manager of record.
I agree.
I agree.
Thank you all. Those are all of the items before the board today that will adjourn this morning's hearing. So thank you, and please do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
You